today's video, I'm going to show you a very basic way to model using hard ops and box cutter, a few booleans and a few bevels, and just very basic rendering and lighting. Let's go. If you're brand new to hard surface modeling and want to learn our entire workflow from start to finish, just like thousands of other students have learned to do, then you can check out our Hard Surface Accelerator program in the link in the top of the description. Alright, so I want to start by deleting the default cube. We're going to start with a plane instead. I'm going to rotate this plane 90 degrees, R, Y, 90. And let's go ahead and just move this over a little bit. Maybe to about here. We'll scale this a bit on the Y. And then I'm going to take this edge right here. Let's extrude it somewhere over here. And then extrude this somewhere over here. Kind of like that. And then basically what I want to do is take these two edges, extrude them over. Doesn't really matter where, because what we're going to do is just run a mirror modifier. That'll take care of that. Then let's just go ahead and apply that mirror. We can remove these two edges here in the center. We don't need them, so Control X to dissolve those out. And then just press F like that. You can just select the edge, it'll auto-fill it for you. And we're basically going to have this shape. Now, I'm going to keep the thickness. I think that's fine. I could scale this a bit on the X, and I could move this out just a little bit more. Just like that. And then I'm just going to go ahead and go into edge mode. Let's select these two edges right here. Control B. Now in this case, I need to apply the scale because it's a little bit skewed. So Control A, apply the scale. Control B, just scroll up a little bit. And just press C to clamp it, otherwise it'll overlap. Now when you clamp it, these two edges here are going to meet at the center right here. So we need to dissolve those out because there's two overlapping. Just select everything, M, merge by distance, that'll take care of it. If you're using machine tools, you can also press 3 for a quick cleanup. I think that's easier. And just to kind of show you, machine tools is an add-on everybody should be using. You're literally wasting hundreds of hours if you're not using it. But basically what you want to do here in machine tools, you can turn on all of these settings, especially cleanup. So that way, whenever you have like overlapping geometry, or maybe you have like junk on a face like that, you just press 3, it'll usually clean it up, and then you can go to limited dissolve to get rid of the rest. But yeah, you can do either one. Now what I want to do here is take these two edges. I'm just gonna bevel right there. Gonna do the same thing for this area. Just bevel right there. It doesn't have to be too large, just decent enough. And then I'm gonna right click to shade auto smooth just to get those edges a bit more smoothed out. And then over here in the back, what I'm gonna do is bevel like that. And then once again, just clean up those overlapping edges. And then we're basically gonna have this shape right here. All right, now what I wanna do is I wanna add in a cube. We're gonna go into top view. Let's scale this cube down a bit on the X, scale it a bit on the Y, move it back a bit on the Y, scale it just a little bit more. Might even scale the object. Let me set the origin to the geometry. Might even scale this object a bit. Actually, I think that's fine. Then we'll just scale this a bit on the Z. We can run our difference boolean right here and just kind of figure out where we want to position this. I think right here is good. Now let's just go ahead and bevel these two. Now once again, the bevel's a bit skewed. So just go into object mode, Control A, apply scale. And we're just gonna do a small bevel kind of like that. Pretty simple. Alright, so now we have a pretty basic shape right here, which is exactly what I want. Now I just want to go into side view. Let's press Shift A to add in a cylinder. We're going to give the cylinder 64 vertices just so it's a bit smoother. Right click to shade auto smooth and then rotate this 90 degrees. And we just kind of move this over. We just run a difference boolean right there. I might even recall this cutter and move this back just a little bit more. And what I want to do on this particular area here is I can make this larger or I can make it smaller. I'm going to keep it smaller. But in this case, what I want to do is press Q in hard op. So we're going to shift the bool over until it says inset. So to scroll up, you're going to see we have an inset right here. Then I'm just going to duplicate the cylinder, scale that in a little bit, and then just run a difference boolean just to kind of create this type of effect right here. Looks pretty cool. And then we can just go ahead and control click on sharpen. That'll apply all the booleans. And now what I want to do here is scale this area in a bit. Now the shading is going to get messed up. So let's just select these two faces and these two faces right here. Since we have a one-to-one correspondence between these vertices, what we can actually do is we can convert these into triangles with Control T, and then Alt J will convert them into quads. So now we can actually scale this in without any sort of shading distortion, just like that. And then basically I can just get in here. We'll bevel this. We'll bevel this here as well. And then just symmetrize that over, kind of create that effect. And then what I want to do is maybe extend this out just a bit more so it's a bit longer. That looks good to me. Now we're going to do the same thing on this side. We're going to add in a cylinder, rotate this, shade auto smooth once again. And I'm just going to position that over here somewhere. We'll just run a difference boolean. I can, center this a bit more if I want to. Just like that. And then basically what I want to do in this one is, honestly, I can just go in, I can apply the booleans by control clicking on sharpen. And then I'm just going to get in here. We're just going to add in a chamfer right here in this area. So just a one segment, kind of like that. And then just symmetrize to the other side. And there we go. And then same type of idea, I can just kind of get in here, maybe just make a small detail, kind of like that. You can even add a very small bevel here, maybe about that size. And then I could even get in here, do like one more detail, kind of like this. And then we can just get in, bevel that a little bit. And there we go. I'm going to do the same thing over here on this side. I'm just going to add a very, very small chamfer, just so it looks a bit more interesting, kind of like that. Can symmetrize over to the other side as well. And we just have a very basic shape here. Cool. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to bevel the entire outside area, okay? So I'm just going to go in. I'm going to select this outer area. We can remove this sharp marking. If we don't remove it when we try to bevel this, it's going to work, but you're going to have these sharp edges here. So usually what you want to do is unmark those first, and then you can add your bevel. You're not going to have that weird looking effect. You can also Control Shift click on sharpen, that'll recalculate it. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the inside here. Let me just unmark that. And just get that beveled right there. And you're going to see we have some shading errors. The best way to fix that is to go to normals, weighted normal. That'll clean everything up. And yeah, there you go. Cool. Now what I want to do is just hop into rendered mode here. Let's hop into Material Works. That'll be linked in the description. I'm going to use the default HDRI. I always think this one looks good. And let's just add in a floor. So Shift A, Mesh, and then Plane. And just really scale that up just so it's super large. And then we can even move that down. I'm just going to give this plane a new material. We'll make it metallic, and we can adjust the brightness of that. I think right here is good. And then you can also adjust the roughness value. So you can make this a little bit more rough if you want that effect. And basically what I want to do here on this object is we're going to go in here, and I'm just going to choose any sort of metal really. You could use like a machine steel, could be cool. You could use, this graphite steel. Use whatever you want, basically, whatever you think looks good. The basic metal is pretty good as well. I'm just going to go with this machine steel right here. I think that'll look good. And then I'm just going to rotate this HDRI, see what different lighting effects we can come up with. So I think right here is good because the lighting is kind of hitting it from the side. You could also rotate it a bit more. It'll hit the top a bit more as well. I'm going to keep it here. And what I'm going to do is quickly add in a camera, Control-Alt-0 on the numpad. We're going to set this to something high, like 280 millimeters on the focal length. And then we're just going to kind of just position that. You can see how the orthographic looks really clean, really nice, good reflections. And also, if you move the plane up near the bottom, it's going to look like it's sitting on a plane, on a surface. However, if you move this down and you have this nice shadow, it almost looks like it's levitating. It makes the object look lighter, a bit more visually appealing. And then if I move this really far down, you don't have any sort of shadow, it's just kind of the object, right? I'm going to move it to about here. I think that looks clean. And also, depending on the roughness, you can see there's just a drastic difference, right? So I'm going to keep the roughness there a bit higher, which I think looks good. You can also make it non-metallic, doesn't really matter that much in this case. Now what I don't like here is this really dark upper area. This is probably like pure black, so there's not really going to be any detail. There's kind of two ways to go about this. You can add in a plane and scale this plane up and kind of rotate it. And that'll kind of work as a reflector. You just want to make sure this plane's not in the actual camera. Just right outside the camera is good. You can also go here, render region. Just make sure that plane is outside of the camera, right? And you're going to see that kind of helps highlight the upper area a bit. So I can just kind of get in. And that's going to give you a pretty decent result. You can see the before and the after. That's kind of one way to go about it. So let me once again just kind of rotate this, move this around. You can really scale that up if you want to. Kind of like that. And if that's too bright, you can also just get in here and just make this, darker. So you just have a slight, increase there. However, the issue with this is the larger this reflector is, the more it kind of, blocks the light from coming in, which you may or may not want. So that's kind of one option, which it looks alright. It just kind of darkens it a little bit too much for my liking. Another option is HardOps has a built-in feature here. If you press Q, just click outside of the scene, or press Alt-A, make sure nothing's selected. You can press Q, add lights, and this will add in a 3-point lighting system. What I like to do here is press W to make the lights white, and then just scroll through until we have some very minimal lighting without a harsh shadow here. So I can just kind of get in, rotate this around, and just find one that looks very subtle. So just kind of get in here. This is just kind of like a cheat code basically. You can just scroll through these until you find like a decent lighting setup. Some of these are going to look terrible, so just keep that in mind. This one isn't too bad. Let me try this again. So this one kind of gives us a nice highlight. I don't like how strong that is. This one's okay as well. It's not too harsh. So you can kind of see the before and the after. It's not too bad. And it just kind of highlights the top a bit better without blocking the light too much. That's what I like about this one. And then again, the floor, you're going to see depending on the rotation of the lighting is going to, change the shadows and things like that. So in this case, by the way, guys, make sure your scene is saved because like Blender right there just crashed. So I didn't have that lighting saved. Not a big deal because it takes me like 30 seconds to find a decent one. So this one could work pretty decently as well. Another thing you can do is if you find the lighting setup, but it's too strong, like maybe it's too bright, you can actually press the minus key on your keyboard to darken it. So you don't want to go too dark, obviously, but you can actually make this light a little bit less bright if you wanted to do that. So right there is a pretty decent amount. And now all we need to do is just slightly adjust the composition. You can move this down, you can move this up, you can kind of keep this centered. Just kind of depends what you're going for. Like usually I use these renders for the thumbnail of the tutorial. So I might have a different position than you might want because maybe I want some space for text, but you know, centered's okay here as well. So that's it. Pretty quick and easy tutorial today. Hopefully you learned a little bit more so of a, basic beginner's tutorial, enough to show you how to use the tools, but also get a pretty clean model just like you see here. So that's how I would do it. If you guys want to pick up the Materialworks plugin, this has over 800 decals. You can just add these to your model. It has HDRI lighting. It has a bunch of different textures as well for you to use. That'll be linked in the description. And if you want to learn our entire hard surface modeling process from start to finish, just like thousands of students have done at this point, you can grab our accelerator course in the link in the description as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.